I had a very, very exciting delivery. We've encountered our first little hiccup. I have actually spent the past few weeks working on a new die cut sticker. These characters are just sort of like who I wish to be, really. I cannot explain how unreasonably nervous I was about that. So that really didn't go to plan at all. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the studio. I've just got distracted because there's a little cat outside. I say little, he's a big boy. He's so beautiful. But like, please don't poo in our garden, don't you poo? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Today is Thursday, and today is a very exciting day to be in the studio. I have been absolutely desperate to get in here all week because on Monday I had a very, very exciting delivery. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a really heavy parcel. Oh gosh, this is a beast. Oh my gosh. So we've got our cutting mat. I'm so used to seeing the Cricuts, like, admittedly beautiful coloured mats. Oh my gosh, I still can't believe I've made this investment. This machine is so much bigger than I anticipated it being. Obviously all of the measurements and stuff are written in the description, but I'm not there measuring stuff. I just think, probably about that big. I'm hoping it does fit on here. I have a feeling it might be like the perfect fit. Look at this, it's so shiny. We've encountered our first little hiccup. It's not the right, what's the word, plug adapter thing for UK main sockets. Oh, how disappointing. I wish I'd have known that, otherwise I would have bought one at the same time as getting the machine so I could set it up. This has been sat in here since Monday waiting for me to open it, and I haven't had an opportunity due to childcare and work. So yes, it is what it is. So that really didn't go to plan at all. So it turns out that the Juliet, where I'd imported it from America, obviously came with an American plug situation. So I ordered myself an adapter, which came the next day, and it came later in the afternoon. I was working at home yesterday, so when I finished work I was like, oh, I'll just plug it in. I won't have time to like do anything, so I'm not going to be like recording it, but let's set it up, let's turn it on, etc. That's where it fell down. It would not turn on. The adapter had the green light to say that it was working, but I kept pressing the power on button on the machine and nothing was happening. I went down like a Google rabbit hole and it was saying make sure like all of the plastic and polystyrene has been removed. There's like a lever on the back that needs to be pulled down. So every time I came across like a snippet of information where I was like, oh, it might be this, maybe I haven't done this, and I'd follow the instructions and nothing would happen. Like I did everything I could and nothing worked. So yesterday my brain did that lovely sort of spicy thing of just blaming myself. I felt very ashamed. I felt very embarrassed. I'd been so looking forward to doing this and I'd really hyped it up in my mind, and this was a big decision, as you guys know, for me to come to get this machine. I went backwards and forwards in my mind so much. So for it to happen again, it was almost like my doubts that I had, it was like I was proved right. I really wanted to be proved wrong. I wanted to sort of say to those like niggling doubts in my head, like, look, you had nothing to worry about. This is going to be a good thing. And then the machine wouldn't turn on. I'm not superstitious, but yesterday my emotional mind was like, that's it, I'm giving up. This is a sign not to do this. I've made this huge financial investment. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get my money back because this was an import. I got it off of Amazon UK, but it was like imported from the US. So I didn't know if I was going to get my money back. I'd also purchased insurance as well because I was that doubtful that things could possibly go right with it. So yeah, I was like, will I get a refund on the insurance that I've bought as well, seeing as the machine like straight out the box doesn't turn on? Thankfully, it all seems like I will get a full refund. However, that does mean that instead of having a nice creative morning making stickers like I thought I was going to be having, I will be reboxing everything that I unboxed yesterday. Now my studio is absolutely covered in cardboard and those like little bits of wire and polystyrene. It all needs to be nice and secure. I'm going to be taking it to a postal locker and then hopefully I'll be able to get the full refund and just buy it from Hobbycraft when that money comes back into my account, which is probably what I should have done in the first place, but I was saving a few pennies doing it this way, but it obviously hasn't worked out. Now everything in me yesterday was like, do I just pack this in and not try again? Is this a sign just, you know, don't do it? But I think I've talked myself around and thought, no, this is obviously, if I'm feeling this disappointed, it's because this is something that I really wanted to happen. As Pedro very rightly said yesterday when I was in a very emotional state, this isn't me. This isn't something that I have done. It's a faulty machine. It's come all the way from America. We'll never know how it's like been handled. On the outside of the box, it doesn't even have a fragile sticker on it. So this could have been chucked around. Yeah, it's not my fault. Once I've boxed this back up, which in my mind is a mammoth task, I'm not going to be recording this because who wants to watch like a reboxing video? That's not a thing. But yes, I will be reboxing this. I've got a few admin tasks to do in the house, and then I'm going to spend the time refiling some of the sketches that I've done this week. This week, while I was working in the office, I spent my lunch breaks down kind of like at a local park by the canal, and I was just like sketching in the sun. It was really nice. And I came to a bit of a realization. My characters, Mochi and Dumpling, I love Mochi, and he is such a like bundle of energy character. I want him to be a bit more expressive, like he sort of jumps into everything head first, kind of like the opposite of me really. The ways that we are similar though is that we are both big fans of food and like to try new things, so that's where we're similar. Dumpling is kind of like the opposite of Mochi in that he's very what's the word? I was going to say the word surreal. Maybe that's not the right word. Kind of like zen, chilled out. Again, the opposite of me. These characters are just sort of like who I wish to be, really. Oh, he's a lovely round dumpling. He has very limited facial expression, and that's the character design that I really wanted with him, to be like a stark contrast to Mochi. However, when I've been doing the prints and the stickers and trying to come up with like different designs, I felt that with this character design, it's very limited. He's very static. At the end of the day, he's a ball with a face where his facial expression doesn't change all that much. So it's very repetitive. And trying to sort of slot him into a scene, he looks very static and like he's just sort of plonked there. I feel like as an animation it would work quite well because he could just sort of like roll around, but trying to convey that in a still 2D image, it's not really working out. I don't want to be changing his facial expressions. I like that about his character, that no matter what the situation he is in, whether it's like a not very nice situation, whether he's in a happy situation, he's kind of got the same facial expression. He's very like stoic. I like that about him. So I was sort of trying to play around a bit with what I could do to inject a little bit of personality and life into this character. And I've had a little play around with hands and feet. It's a very weird sentence to say. I had a little look at what the character would look like if he had tiny little hands, so he could sort of express himself a bit more that way. And I really like that. Also, I've looked at like the feet, and as I was sort of sketching them, I just love the idea of just like having a little circle so he could like jump up a bit more. He could be like on the tiptoes. Yeah, I feel like that kind of gives him a little bit more life. I'm going to have to go back and edit the print and the sticker sheet to include his hands and feet. But I think first of all, I'm going to refine some of the other die cut stickers ready for when in however many weeks I do get this new Sizer Juliet. Fingers crossed it's soon, and fingers crossed it works, otherwise we're back to the drawing board. But for now, I'm going to be packing up this machine and sending it back. Sad times. A few weeks have passed since I last spoke to you, so it feels a little bit weird to speak to a camera again. Yeah, it's been a busy couple of weeks, I will be honest. I have had a hectic time at work trying to get my first draft of the book that I've been working on out. That has since happened, and honestly, I'm so excited with how it's coming together, and I cannot wait to show you guys. It's probably one of like my most favourite books that I've ever worked on. And I know that I do say this a lot, but this time, oh my goodness, it's like far exceeded everything. I've had such fun working on it, and it's something really new for me. It's been a big learning curve, but I've really enjoyed myself. Anyway, during that time, I did manage to get a full refund from Amazon on the Sizer Juliet, thank goodness. And I have since done a Hobbycraft order, which arrived yesterday with the new one. It was a little bit more expensive from Hobbycraft, but fingers crossed that it actually works this time, because I don't know what I'm going to do if this doesn't switch on. Let's just open it and see, shall we? Okay, so I've set it up. And it's time for me to press the power on button. And I'm not going to lie, I feel a little bit sick. Oh, please work. Please, please, please. Oh, thank goodness. I saw a few little lines. Yes! Oh my goodness, what a relief. Okay, so it wasn't my fault before. I cannot explain how unreasonably nervous I was about that. Like, it was actually my fault that the previous machine was faulty. I was so nervous that the same thing was going to happen again. Like, it was me that was cursed by some kind of like die cut machine gods or something. Because, oh my goodness, I've had 2 Cricuts in the past, both of which basically stopped working within the year due to a manufacturing fault. So this to happen again with the Sizer Juliet after hearing so many amazing reviews about it, I was so nervous that this one was going to do the same thing. But it's on. It's on. And now I just need to like install all the blades and learn all the software. Wow. I'm going to have a little play around now while I've got some free time. But just to leave you with something a little bit more exciting than just unboxing machinery, I have actually spent the past few weeks working on a new die cut sticker featuring Mochi and Dumpling, of course, bathing in a lovely bowl of ramen, and I was so pleased with how this sticker came out. I really loved all the texture and kind of like the more painterly feel with it. So much so that when I then went back and looked at the print to add the hands and feet to Dumpling, I realised that I wasn't entirely happy with the print, and if I'm feeling this now before it actually goes out, then that's not a good feeling. When I looked at like the strawberry die cut sticker and the sticker sheet that I've created, I have this like warm buzz around it, but with the print I was kind of thinking, I like it, but that's not good enough for me. I really need to love it to want to sell it. So I've actually gone back for the third time to redraw it, and I feel like after looking at the ramen die cut sticker, I realised it was just lacking a little bit of that kind of painterly feel, kind of that traditional look. It looked a little bit too clean and polished. The line art was a little bit fine. I just kind of wanted to show you a little time lapse of how that went, really. I did it in parts across, you know, a couple of sessions, sitting in the sunshine. It's been really nice weather here in the UK. It's a bit cloudy today, actually. It's a bit hit and miss, but I'm very excited because this time next week, as I'm speaking now, I am going to be in Cyprus. We have a relative who is getting married, so we've decided to go during half term to Cyprus. We're only spending 5 days there, but I am so looking forward to 5 days in hopefully continuous sunshine, by the pool, eating good food, being with family. It's going to be fab. I just wanted to say a very quick thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. We have now reached and exceeded 100 subscribers, which for some channels it probably seems like a distant memory, but for me I'm like, oh my goodness, as if there's 100 of you. If I was stood talking to 100 people right now in a room, okay, I'm having heart palpitations thinking about it. If you are new to this channel and you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more, then the subscribe button is there. There's also the like button. And you know what? I've seen quite a few people requesting to post emojis if you made it to the end of the video. So I might do that. What emoji would make sense to this video? A ramen? A ramen for Mochi and Dumpling? Or some noodles? Something like that. An egg, if that's your favourite bit of a ramen. I love a bit of marinated egg myself. Why am I so weird? If you made it to the end of the video, post your favourite Japanese food emoji. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me on this video of ups and downs of getting this machine. Hopefully it's only up from here, but we will see. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye guys!